What's up, guys? Chasing Lamey here with episode 151 of The Journey. In today's episode, we are playing Fulham in the Premier League, and, well, this one's a bit of a six-pointer, so like, subscribe, ring the bell. I'll see you after the intro. So our last live com was the Everton game where we lost 2-0 to go out of the FA Cup. We then played Manchester United in the league and lost 2-1, and then we had a 2-0 loss against Fulham, which has left us sitting in 15th place in the league. We're just 1 point ahead of Wolves in 18th, so we're still very much in this relegation fight, and it's going to be a really tight one. I don't think anyone's going to be needing 40 points to be safe. I think the mark is probably closer to 35 this year. With the games remaining, we play Fulham today. They sit 17th, an absolute six-pointer for us. We then play Bournemouth in 12th, Newcastle in 2nd, Crystal Palace in 11th, and West Ham in 13th in our next few games. That'll be our next live com, because I'm going to skip all the games against the big clubs, and we'll come back for the final 3 games, I think. Maybe as one episode, maybe as separate episodes, we'll see. Just because I don't know if we're going to pick up more than 1 point from the 5 games against the big teams here. Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Villa. I'd be surprised if we pick up more than a point, maybe 2 from those games. So really, this run between Fulham and West Ham is going to be what defines our season. 15 points on offer. If we get all of them, we should be safe, but, let's not count chickens. Let's just get into the game, because that's way more fun than counting chickens. We've got Monday Night Football, and I'm hoping we can get a good result today. So we are fairly familiar with our lineup. It's going to be Sarau in goal, Rawlins, or Lynch and Maatsen. It's Cam and Morante as the holding midfielders. Behind Gould, Jorge, and Foncu and Pfeifferich. Up on the bench, it's going to be Farrell, Hjunker, Manolo, Garrett, Nishimura, Saber, Hughes, Lowry, and Mori. So we'll get into this game, and hopefully good things are going to happen. So in the dressing room, we're just going to say, show everyone what we're all about, because that's probably the best we can do. We'll also do I've got faith in you for everyone, just because, we need to fire them up just a little bit. We'll get into the game now, and hopefully a result is coming. I feel like we can probably get a result today. We need to get a result today. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, a result today is almost an essential thing so that we can at least have a fighting chance of staying up. It would put solidly 5 points between us and Fulham, which is a case of stacking up the obstacles between us and relegation at this point, because we're not going to finish top half. We are just looking for survivors. Maatsen gets across it, looking for Pfeifferich, can't quite get there. It's headed away, but only as far as Morante over the top again, looking for Pfeifferich. Falls to Rawlins. Rawlins into the box. Can he cut it back? He does. It's gone straight into the hands of Nathan Baxter in the Fulham goal, though. And yeah, that's very much what we're looking at in today's game, to be honest, is just we need to steal a win at home and try and get something from the rest of those games before we play the big dogs, because otherwise we really are in trouble. It's now Gould on the ball. He's into the box. He'll be looking for a cross. Maybe he'll cut it back. He does to Cam. Cam across to Morante. It comes off a defender. It's going to spill out as far as Lynch, though. I thought Maatsen was going to go for it, but he didn't. Morante gives it away, though. Kravchenko on the ball for Fulham. Ramat Sane forward for Furchi. We've got to get across and defend this now. He has a shot. It's gone over the bar. And that threat, luckily, has dissipated. Corner for us now. We've had a bit of a rubbish first half, and Foncu's on a 6.1. He's been terrible. Mario Jorge's picked up a knock somewhere. And now Fulham are trying to counter-attack. Luckily, Gould has got the ball back to Mario Jorge. Has a shot, and it's just wide. And yeah, and Foncu's got to get into this game, because he has been terrible so far. As Stewart gets a free kick for Fulham just inside our half, and Tenkate goes forward for Kravchenko to Ramat Sane into the box, cuts it back for Furchi, who luckily shows why Fulham are near the bottom of the table, because they're just shooting like that. I'm very disappointed with Foncu and Pfeifferich in this first half. Neither of them really putting in a particularly good performance. I'm not sure what's going on with Jorge, because he doesn't have any kind of icon to suggest that he's actually picked up an injury of any kind. He's just, I guess, been clattered in a tackle and he's struggling to recover. We are going to point the finger at Pfeiffer and Nfonku because neither of them have been good enough and they do need to improve. I don't know why they're both... I mean, I suppose Pfeiffer might be struggling because Nfonku is not creating anything. It's probably the logical conclusion. But yeah, we need Nfonku to come back into this game because being on a 6 rating is just unacceptable. He's only staying on because I don't like to make subs at half-time. But I might have to make subs very soon because that's not going to win us the game. Jorge's going to have to come off because he's tired. Cam and Morante have now decided to stop trying to perform as well. Something is going to have to change, and I'd like a goal before it does, but I don't think it's going to happen. So let's make those changes now. Funky's dropped to a 5.9 and hope we can get something going here. So I've just dumped all the subs on at once. Juncker and Nishimura have gone on as holding midfielders. We've sent on Hughes, Lowry and Mori into the attack. We've got Camarante, Jorge and Funky and Pfeiffer coming off, just replacing guys who weren't delivering, and Jorge, of course, did have that knock, so we need someone to go in there, add fresh energy. I think the Hughes-Mori attacking partnership should be able to get something from this game, but they've not really played together, so we'll see if it can bear fruit. It's just been a bit of a nothingy game. It's not been our best performances. Atlano picks up the ball to Furchi for Fulham. Sensi gets tackled by Hughes. Tenkate picks the ball up, though, goes across to Ramazzani. He goes through ball for Furchi, who again puts it wide. He doesn't put it wide, actually. Sorrell saved it. So he's getting close to the target. We'll let him have another shot. He will probably put it in as Kravchenko is going to take this corner. I need us to get up the field now and play, because we are not really doing anything to pull up any trees, and that's not really something I find terribly acceptable, to be honest. So I need to have a think about how I get more bodies forward, which actually I can achieve. Let's just do a quick pause there. I'm going to move Nishimura into the centre of midfield. I'm going to make him be a... yeah, let's just use him as an attacking centre mid. Hopefully that will overload the midfield or overload their defence just a touch and create some kind of opportunity, because we need something to be coming from somewhere, and this isn't good, to be honest. A 0-0 doesn't really help us at all, and it's just not very exciting for you guys to watch either. So if it stays like this, maybe we do a second game just to see something happen. It's a point, and a point is something, I suppose, but it's not really good enough. So I mean, we have gone up the table with a draw because Leeds, I guess, they weren't playing. That's why we've gone up a place. But we're still not out of the woods, and that's a real problem for us. So we'll say, sympathise with you tonight, things didn't go our way. It's not necessarily true, but if it makes everyone happy, it makes them happy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away and I'm going to come back in just a second, and we will do a second game of the episode, which will be against Bournemouth. There you go. Hopefully we can get a result against Bournemouth. We'll come back for that in just a second. So very much back with take 2, the second game of the episode, Bournemouth versus Blackburn. Our lineup today is Sorrell, Rawlins or Nagakura's come back from injury, but he only play half the game, so we'll keep an eye on that. And Maatson at left back. It's Camarante in central mid again, with Gould, Jorge and Nfonku as the attacking midfield again. I did consider dropping Nfonku. I couldn't work out where the logical replacement was. And in fact, now I'm saying that out loud, let's stick Alex Lowry in there. A Pfeiffer up top. On the bench is Delorge, Lynch, Manolo, Juncker, Nishimura, Saber, Hughes, and Fonku, and Mori to be the backup brigade. I was considering Takahara as the striker instead of Mori on the bench, but I just feel like Mori offers more to us. No bad pun intended. We'll see how this goes. I'm hoping we can get a result here against Bournemouth, because I would like to get something out of this episode. I need to get the points on the board. I've just realised that Newcastle are in second and they are next. So again, very much a must-win game for our season at this stage. And it's just I can feel time slipping away. I've been looking at what do we do if we go down and get relegated, and there was a job that was interesting at Mallorca, but they filled it now. I didn't apply for it because they weren't taking applications at the time. I guess they've just kept the caretaker manager in place until the end of the season is sort of their plan. We are in that kind of awkward window. There's a job at Saint Etienne in France that's available right now, but they are in severe financial trouble. And I don't fancy trying to do a rebuild in France with no money to try and win the Champions League from there. It's very awkward. As Gould puts the ball back to Rawlins, we've got to get something going here. Rawlins with a cross into the box, looking for Lowry. Back post, doesn't find him. Matson is there, though. He finds Lowry. Lowry has a shot, saved by the keeper. Gould back, looking for Cam, gets tackled. That's going to be a penalty there. And we are going to hopefully see a goal in this episode. It's only taken a game and a bit. We are going to step up for it. I believe it's Lowry taking it off what I can see. It is Lowry to take it. Can he score it? Yes, he can. Alex Lowry puts us ahead in as a late last-minute replacement on the team sheet for Nfonku, and he puts us ahead, and we are at least back in the fight now. I feel like we just need to maximize our points and hope for the best at this stage. As I said, we are going to have to take a point off one of the big clubs as well, but that does move us up into 14th and crucially clear of Leeds for now, and 4 points clear of Wolves. Very much is going to be a case of we've got to get just a run of something going, a run of some form going, so we can get some points, because otherwise we will go down. And as much as the board like us for getting promotion, I can see them sacking us if we go down. I also think it would be much harder, even if we weren't sacked, for us to get a job somewhere closer to the Champions League if we do, in fact, get sacked. So we've got to be very careful here. As I said, I'm keeping an eye on what's going on elsewhere. I'll show you after the game, actually, what's going on elsewhere in the job market, so you can see, like, there are so few options that we've really got to give this some thought. So it's half-time. That's 1-0. It wasn't the most exciting first half in the world, but we have at least finally seen a goal. We'll say we're ahead on the scoreboard and all that good gubbins. Pfeiffer again gets a pointy finger. He really does need to start showing up for 90 minutes because he does go missing. He's on paper a really good striker. All of our strikers are on paper really good strikers if you look at their attributes, but they seem to go missing. I don't know if it's the system, but I don't know what I would do to fix that. Maybe make him into a pressing forward. I'm not sure. But yeah, he needs to start coming alive. We are getting to sort of substitution time. And in fact, I'm going to take care of that right now. So just the two subs for now. Nishimura and Mori are both coming on just to replace Morante and Pfeiffer, who haven't been performing. I'm not going to use that more attacking role just yet for Nishimura. I'd rather hold on to 1-0. As much as this doesn't make for an exciting episode, I'd rather hold on to that 1-0 than mess around as Gould goes through for Mori. Mori's in on goal. He's absolutely spooned that into the crowd. And not his finest hour for Takamori. We'll hopefully get something going, though, as Aarons gets a throw for Bournemouth now to Scott. Scott goes back for Zabanai to Kirkesh. Kirkesh is through into the box. He's going to get a goal here. Absolutely saw that coming. And, well, that's the problem with it just being 1-0, is that eventually something is going to go wrong. Your defence is going to fall apart, and I need to figure out a way now to get something going. I think I have a half idea, but it's a little bit crazy, so stick with me here. So I did have a crazy idea. It wasn't going to work, so I've just gone for the more attacking gegenpress we used last season. Delforge on a right back. We've sent Saber on as the as the number 10 as well. Lynch goes on for Nagakura, just to tidy the defence up a little bit, put a little bit more going forwards. I want to see more from our attacking players. I want to see more creativity coming through. I know they can make this formation work, this system work, because we made it work for promotion last year. We did go a little bit more conservative for the Premier League to try and get results, but frankly, I just feel like we're going to concede if we don't try and attack to win this one. As Gould gets into the box, across the box for Lowry's second, and we're back ahead, and it's paid off immediately. I really like having Saber in there as the track. I like the way he pulls people out of position just a little bit in the defence. Just makes them think a little bit more about where he is. He does also get in to make himself dangerous. He's quite useful in that role. Something that having an advanced playmaker doesn't quite give us there as well. I mean, I could just make that a trek in our regular system, but I haven't quite got there yet. As Delforge gets up to head that ball away, back to McCallum. It's across the box to Loasso. We've got a Loasso as well. It's a different one. Maybe they're related. Who knows? But we give it away a corner. We just have to defend this one. They've got a striker standing right on top of our goalkeeper. That's not helpful. Lynch gets to it. Zabani goes back out for Sosa. As eventually cleared by Cam. Are they going to get this back into the box? They might do, but we're not going to see anything come of it. And we are back ahead, 2-1 up. They've got another corner, and this is again where we start falling apart, really, is that our defence can't really cope tactically with that. In fact, we're going to go back to the defensive version of this, but with the trek. We're going to try that out just to see if that makes us any better. Because we're using Saber at what he's best at there, while still keeping that extra defensive sort of stability. Maybe that's the answer to our problems. As Loasso goes to McCallum, back to Loasso, forward for Emrahad, and Nishimura gets in there, picks it up, breaks it down. Sorrell gets it down the field. Can Gould win this? Probably not, because he's quite small, but Nishimura has. Gould now, through ball, looking for Saber, doesn't quite find him, and now McNamee running at us, gives it to Sosa. Sosa with his mohawk, with a cross, and it's just gone wide from Emrehan. 5 minutes-ish of regular time to play. Our issues with strikers not getting into the game continue, and, well, we've got a defender free kick now. It's gone across to Zabani, across again to McCallum. That's a free kick for us, as Zabani is offside. And please don't mess around with the back. Just get it upfield, waste some time. That's all I really ask of you. McCann now, forward for Delforge. Delforge with a chance to get down the far side. Goes back again for Orr to Nishimura. Nishimura to the near side for Matson. Lowry goes back for Nishimura. Nishimura for Cam. Cam into the box. Is he going to shoot? Yes, he is. And Lewis Cam puts it beyond Dow at 3-1. We have got the 3 points on the board we needed from today's game, and I'm hoping that's going to be enough. We'll have a look at the league table after the game. I'm hoping that's going to be enough to put a bit of daylight between us and the relegation battle, just so we've got a cushion before we start facing the really difficult teams. We are currently sitting in 14th and still 3 points clear of Leeds, who are currently losing to Manchester United. Or have lost to Manchester United, we're the only team still playing. That's over, and we have got a result today, which is really, really good. The sound you hear is everyone that wrote us off backtracking. That's what we want to say. And yeah, we can hopefully build on that. My target, I'd love to get to the 40-point mark. 40 points will definitely keep us up. I think if we can get another 9 points for the season, currently being on 26, I genuinely think, looking at that table as it is now, 35-ish will be enough to keep someone up. Like, I think Bournemouth and Palace are probably safe. So that's the thought process. We will, though, come back for the West Ham game, the next episode, purely because that's the best place to pick up before I go and lose 5 in a row. We'll see how that goes. We will go to the West Ham game and hopefully be in a decent-ish position. We'll see how we look. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I have as always been Chasing Lamely. Do like, subscribe, ring the bell, leave comments down below. And until next time, stay safe and have a good one.